Hello and welcome to another video from earnped.com. I am StevieB. I have never wished more in my life that my avatar could put one of his weapons in his own mouth and just do himself in. So, to be fair to the Next Island development team, guys, I actually stopped by ancient Greece to check out this whole Deliver Us from the Dark Queen wave event bullshit. And it is so much worse than what I initially expected. I'm not even going to stay. I'm just going to make this damn video and go. So, okay, first of all, if you know how to get into ancient Greece, when you land on Next Island, you have to fly to the Orpheus Cave. There's a teleporter. You go from there. It teleports you into ancient Greece via a drop-down menu. When you get there, there's some kind of a weird holographic elder geometric shape that you click on. And that tells you to go see somebody in Thebes. So you go to Thebes, you go to the very top by where Archon used to be, but you go left instead of right to Archon. And there's this little bitty guy standing there, and then another 50 feet away is this little bitty building full of players at the moment. Presumably all of whom are here doing this bullshit. And so the idea is you talk to him. Oh, look, a global. Wow. An 11 ped global. How bullshitty. So you go talk to him and he says, look, we've got this problem. We need you to help deliver us from the Dark Queen, blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit. Okay. So here's the thing. Everybody knows it's all about the wave event because that's where everything drops that you need for the armor and shit, right? So Next Island, being Next Island, they always do shit in the dumbest way possible. And yes, we have plenty of haterade to go around for not just the haters in game, but for the Next Island development team too, because this is truly awful game design. So the whole premise is that you need a map, and there's only one person skilled enough to make a map. Apparently Next Island forgot that if you hit M, it pulls up a map. Like, that's already kind of a feature in-game, right? So apparently the whole premise of this chain is you need a map. So you've got to do three different things. You've got to come kill all these Cyclops in order to get vellum, aka paper. You've got to go mining for the blood of the gods in order to get ink, and then you've got to craft to get chisels for the map maker. So you've got to hunt, you've got to mine, and you've got to craft, which means if you don't have crafting skills, you're fucked. If you don't have mining skills, you're fucked. And you have to do all this stuff before you can actually get to the wave event, which is presumably why you're here to begin with, right? So the problem is not just any Cyclops will do. You can't just go out and find the little level 1s. You've actually got to find these level 4 through 6s. I literally could not find them. I had to ask somebody. So, long story short, here's where I am over by this waypoint here on the island. Okay, Thebes is up here, where this little 1 is, right? That's where Thebes is, kind of like the starting point. And then down here is where the Cyclops are. So, every time you kill one, you get like roughly 5 to 10 vellum, give or take. Here's the big problem, guys. As you're going through hunting, you get all this bullshit. And Next Island has always been this way. It's just all kinds of different crystals and bullshit, 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 none of which has any value. Like, very, very little to any of that stuff actually has value. 90% of what you see in that window right there is just TT food. That's all it is, TT food. So, supposedly, after I kill all these Cyclops, after I do all this mining, then I've got to craft. So one thing he does give you is a blueprint. This little guy right here, it's a component blueprint. Quality rating 2.0, which why it starts at 2.0 is beyond me. But in order to attempt it, you need 30 iron, 50 Cyclops wrist guard, 500 Elysium tech chip, and 35 Lesser Elysian. So if you know anything about crafting, Lesser Elysian is a Next Island blueprint. I've actually got a crap load of them on Calypso. I guess I might go grab in the next couple of days. Maybe. I was just going to TTM. I still might. That's kind of up in there because I really don't want to come all the way back over here. But Lesser Elysian, you have to craft in and of itself. It's a mixture of Vibrant Sweat and Listerium. Iron is pretty self-explanatory. I have no clue what the other two are, but essentially you just got to craft until you somehow manage to create a chisel. Maybe you get lucky, it's the first attempt. Maybe you don't get lucky, it's the 900th attempt. Who knows? Once you do all that, the mining, the Cyclops killing, and the crafting, supposedly then you get the map to the wave event. So people have been saying, hey, sweat prices are going up. Well, they're going up for two reasons. A, you need them to craft lesser Elysian, and you also, which then goes into the chisels, and you need them in order to make the wave event happen. The wave event, from what I hear, takes 50,000 sweat in order to start. So here's where Ancient Greece and the Next Island dev team really fuck up. So the whole point of this event is to get this armor and then do these upgrade chains and mix all this other crap with it, and then you can adjust it, modify it, perfect it, so on and so forth, right? So the problem with that is it's not account bound. Like if they were actually smart, they would have made it account bound so you had to do all this BS in order to get the armor you wanted. And specifically to get to perfected, you would have had to spend a lot of money and a lot of time doing it, as I'm sure it probably cost a small fortune to get all the way through perfected doing this amount of bullshit. The problem is they've come out and said it's not account bound, meaning it will be cheaper just to buy the shit than it is to actually do this. So do I plan to do the whole thing? No. I would kind of like to see the wave event so we could get it on video. But guys, let me explain what's going to happen. First of all, a lot of low-level players are going to come here, and they're just not going to be able to do it. They're not going to have the skills to craft. They're not going to have the skills to mine. They're not going to have the gear to mine. Most people aren't actually going to go out and get this stuff here. They're just going to buy it, and that's what we're seeing. That's why we're seeing sweat prices go up. That's why we're seeing a shortage of iron, is people with warp-capable ships are just warping to Cali, and they're stocking up on sweat and iron and stuff that they need, and then they're coming back here, and they're selling it off for market because people would rather just buy it than actually have to go spend the time and effort and money when they don't have the skills or the equipment to try and get it, right? So it's kind of a clusterfuck. So here's where I see this going. First of all, the shares aren't going anywhere. In fact, I'll show you guys live right now. Okay, so Crystal Palace, there's currently, you know, they're still doing pretty good. But let's look at Ancient Greece. They still have not sold even 50,000 shares. They still have not even sold 50,000 shares. And at this point, it's been almost 4 days. We're just shy of 4 days. We're right at the 4-day mark, right? Okay, to put that into perspective, guys, Crystal Palace sold out in 48 hours. 500,000 shares. 500,000 shares in 48 hours sold out. That's because Crystal Palace was good beforehand. It didn't take the IPO to magically make it good. So they haven't even sold 5,000 shares in the past 36 hours by my math. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it. People know what's going to happen. There's a small group of people that's going to come do all this BS. They're going to get to the wave event. They're going to keep iron and sweat prices up for a while. They're going to go through. They're going to get the armor because they have to have the newest, shiniest thing there is. And then after that, nobody's going to be here. Nobody's going to do it. Everybody's going to go back home. And that's going to be the end of Next Island and Ancient Greece. It's going to be one of those things that happened for a week or two and it was over. So the reason you want to stay away from the shares, as I've said in previous videos, if you buy them at 10 ped and they don't sell out, then they never become tradable. Okay, and right now, maybe they pay out a little bit the next week or two, 3, somewhere in there, while we've got everybody staying home because of coronavirus, while everybody in the I've got to have the newest, shiniest, most expensive stuff in EU crowd does this. But once a couple of these armor sets start getting into the hands of players, people are going to quit doing this mission chain, and they're just going to start buying the armor from people. That's exactly what's going to happen. Ancient Greece is going to go back to just how it was before, and it's going to be unpopular. It's going to be unpopulated. There's going to be very little to no income, and the shares will pay out practically never. I will honestly, after this initial hysteria has worn off, I will honestly be surprised if they pay out twice a year. And that's me being very, very nice about it. Most players know that. Most players are not stupid, which is why we see very, very few people buying. There was some buying the first day or two from people that just don't understand investment and math. And then it's kind of come to a halt. I mean, they haven't even... they sold almost 40,000 shares in the first 48 hours. And then they barely sold 10,000 in the 48 hours since. So what's that tell you guys? So again... it had some potential, but they blew it in every way possible. It should not be this hard to get to a wave event. I should not have to go through this much BS just to go through BS. And again, we see the stupidity of the Next Island development team. All this loot that you see dropping, oh yeah, it looks like I'm getting a lot of loot. But guys, it's all TT food. There's no markup here. The entire premise of making money in Entropia is you have to be hunting for markup. You have to be hunting for markup. That's how it goes. You cannot survive on loot alone. So, that said, this is kind of an overview of the Deliver Us from the Dark Queen chain, the new Ancient Greece chain that allows you to get access to the wave event. I wanted you guys to see it because I don't want you guys flying all the way across the solar system to get here only to find out, oh, I've got to mine and I don't have mining skills, or oh, I've got to craft and I don't have crafting skills, or oh, I've got to craft several attempts to make this chisel and I don't have the money to buy iron and lesser Elysian and all that stuff. This is for players who already have skills, who already have bankrolls. This is not going to be something that is kind to the free-to-play crowd at all. I literally cannot believe they set it up this way, because if you're going to set it up to where it's somewhat beneficial to the free-to-play crowd, to at least get some people in here, you know, spending something, doing some amount of activity on your area, and then make the armor account bound so they have to go through the chain if they've got money. And piss money away left and right to get the armor. But of course it's Next Island. Why would I expect them to do anything smart? So I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes while I wrap up the video here for you guys. I mean, I think we've pretty much seen all we need to see of this amount of BS. If I eventually someday make it to the wave event, I'll record that in a future video. I do not intend to stay here and go all the way to the wave event. I just don't. It's just not worth my time. I can't believe I wasted 30 to 45 minutes flying here just to deal with this amount of bullshit. But this is where we are. So this, again, giant failure by Next Island. Total money pit for those of you that are eco-friendly or free-to-play or non-depoers or in it for profit. Unless you've got the kind of money and bankroll and skills it takes that you can get all the way through and actually get to the wave event and then grind it out and then hopefully sell some stuff for markup, or get you a perfected set of armor and somehow manage to do it on the cheap, which literally is not possible from what I'm hearing, then this is just not for you, and neither are Ancient Greece shares. This is an even bigger clusterfuck than I previously expected, and I'm honestly just sad for the development team for Next Island right now, because this is bad for all the hype they had. Also, the hero coins you heard of, there's 6 estates. You defeat the Gorgon, you get the hero coin. Yeah, once you have the coin, you have to spend $2,000 US to trade the coin in for the estate. And as of right now, what do you get to do on the estate? They don't know, because it's not an active feature in the game. Didn't see that one coming. Yeah, I did. Because that's pretty much what Mindark did years ago with the plot system. They created it, they gave people the plot deeds, and then they never really developed it. So you watch, what's going to end up happening is they're going to trade in these hero coins for $2,000 US, that's 20,000 PED. And then when it comes to developing the estates, there's going to be very little to no development actually happening. It's just not going to happen, right? If it does, it's going to be piss poor. And nothing says you're a hero like, let's give you an estate that we're going to make you pay for. And by the way, let's put it in an area that we know in 3 weeks nobody's going to be on. I mean, how would you feel if you spent $2,000 on an estate on Ancient Greece and you came to hang out and there was literally nobody in Ancient Greece? Because that's what's going to happen to these people. Bonnie, John Knight, they'll be fine. I mean, you know, I love Bonnie to death. She's my baby mama. And I think they were the first ones to actually have the hero coin. I know another player who has a hero coin who's actually a lower level player. And he already told me straight up, he said, I didn't know they were going to charge me $2,000 to redeem it. I don't have that kind of money. And honestly, I pissed away half my PED card even trying to get it. So they're already taking people for a ride. It's already becoming very obvious. This is not going to last. It's just another nail in the coffin of Next Island. If Mindark had any sense, they would just yank the Planet Partnership away from them and be done with the Next Island development team altogether. So I wanted to give it a fair shake. I came, I saw, they shit on us again, and now I'm out. So guys, from earnped.com, I've been StevieB. We really appreciate all your support. We appreciate all the subscribers to the channel. We're getting so close to our first set of milestones. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I can do nothing but thank you guys for it. Please, guys, stay away from Ancient Greece shares. They're just going to be a horrible investment. If you want to come check it out, feel free to come check it out, but don't spend too much time or money here, because there's just nothing profitable going on in Ancient Greece. It's just not profitable for you guys, for the players. The dev team's making a few bucks, but that's about the only people that are making money here. Other than that, as you guys know, I'm going to be headed back to Cyrene. I was there today. I was on Calypso earlier. I plan to go back to Cyrene, spend a day or two there, and then head back to Cali more or less for the foreseeable future. Might make a detour by Monria too, but I've got a lot of good content coming. I've actually recorded 4 different videos today, all of which are great. I just have to decide which order to put them up in. This one's going to be first, but I want to be sure and get you guys the most relevant information as fast as I can, so that's what I'm trying to do. Every time you guys hit the like button, I greatly appreciate it. We actually have haters that hate us so much they'll hit the like button when I say something like, hey, here's a way a new player can get an unlimited hammer on Siren. But, you know, as long as we've got 50 to 75 people liking the video, the one hater isn't going to piss me off that bad. And the haters actually help us out a little bit because, like I've said before, real content creators don't have 100% like. So every time you guys hit the like button, every time you hit subscribe, it does nothing but help us out. We greatly appreciate it. A dislike or two from the haters, you know, it's going to happen, and that actually helps us out a little bit too. But more importantly, go over to earnped.com, use the site, use the tools that we've given you. If you use the tools that we've given you, you earn and we earn. When that happens and it starts happening en masse and people are doing it regularly, that allows us to do cool stuff in-game, like the modified trade terminal program we had to suspend, like the improved trade terminal program we had to suspend, like doing in-game events we had to suspend. So I'm really hoping all those features from earnped.com can make a comeback in the very near future. The more you guys support us by using earnped.com, the more likely that is, right? So we really appreciate all you guys. Like I said, if you want to come check out Next Island's new thing, or on Ancient Greece here on Next Island, you can. But I mean, you're pretty much seeing it. This is a yawn fest. I'm sorry, Imperium and Main Chang on Siren were 1,000 times more fun than this is. It's just an absolute yawn fest. So I've been StevieB with earnped.com. We're going to leave it right there, guys, but we'll be back with more content for you very soon. Till then, continue to earn and learn and know that we appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, guys.